Greetings and welcome to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. We have a very important discussion to go to tonight. Maybe not much. We'll listen to this broadcast from President Tinubu about the state of emergency they've declared in Rivers State. Recall that there is a dispute between the current governor, Fubara, and of course the former governor, Nyesom Wike, who is now the head of the FTC, and that has caused a lot of problems. A breakdown of the running of the governance of the state, and the federal government has had to intervene. We're going to hear the words of the President Tinubu. In the meantime, please, before we do that, I'd really kindly like you to subscribe to us on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe to Citizen AY. Hit the notification button, give us thumbs up, and help us reach more people. This is really important. It is really a delicate time now for Rivers State, and for the people of the state. They deserve to have good governance. And part of what we've been advocating for a long time on this platform is the people for being able to participate in the governance and hold those in governance to account. What has been happening now is that those in governance have been taking decisions devoid of participation or involvement of the people of Rivers State. Consequently, the actions they've taken has impacted the day-to-day runnings of the Rivers State government. And as a result of that, the president of Nigeria has had to address the nation, and apparently he's made some suspension for the legislature in the state to be suspended for 6 months. Anyway, you will hear the full story. With that being said, let us go straight into it. Here we go.
I feel greatly disturbed at the tone we have come to regarding the political crisis in Rivers State. Like many of you, I have watched with concern the development, with hope that the parties involved will allow good sense to prevail at the soonest. But all that hope borne out without any solution to the crisis. With the crisis persisting, there's no way democratic governance, which we all fought and worked for over the years, can thrive in a way that will redound to the benefit of the good people of the state. The state has been at a standstill since the crisis started, with the good people of the state not being able to have access to the dividend of democracy. Also, it is public knowledge that the governor of Rivers State, for unjustifiable reasons, demolished the House of Assembly of the state as far back as 13th December 2023, and as up till now, 14 months after, now rebuilt the same. I have made personal interventions between the contending parties for a peaceful resolution of this crisis, but my efforts have been largely ignored by the parties to the crisis. I'm also aware that many well-meaning Nigerians, leaders of thought, and patriotic groups have also intervened at various times with the best of intentions to resolve the matter, but all their efforts were also to no avail. Still, I thank them. On February 28, 2025, the Supreme Court, in a judgment in respect to all about 8 consolidated appeals concerning the political crisis in Rivers State, based on several grave unconstitutional acts and the disregard of the rule of law that has been committed by the governor of Rivers State, as shown by the evidence before it, pronounced in very clear terms. And I quote, "A government cannot be said to exist without one of the 3 arms that make up of the government of a state under the 1999 Constitution, as amended. In this case, the head of the executive arm of the government has chosen to collapse the legislature to enable him to govern without the legislature as a despot. As it is, there is no government in Rivers State, and I quote. The above pronouncement came after a catalog of judicial findings of constitutional breaches against Governor Siminalayi Fubara. Going forward in their judgment, and having found and held that 27 members of the House who had allegedly deflected, and I quote, are still valid members of Rivers State House of Assembly and cannot be prevented from participating in proceedings of that House by the eighth respondent, that is the governor, in cohort with 4 members, and unquote. The Supreme Court then made some orders to restore the state to immediate constitutional democracy. These orders include the immediate passing of an appropriation bill by the Rivers State House of Assembly, which up to now has not been facilitated. Some militants had threatened fire and brimstone against their perceived enemies of the governor, who has up to now not disowned them. Apart from that, both the House and the governor have not been able to work together. Both of them do not realize that they are in office to work together for the peace and good governance of the state. The latest security report made available to me show that between yesterday and today, there have been disturbing incidents of vandalization of pipelines by some militants without governor taking any action to curtail them. I have, of course, given stand order to the security agencies to ensure safety of lives of good people of Rivers State and the oil pipelines. With all this and many more, no good and responsible president will stand by and allow the grave situation to continue without taking remedial steps prescribed by the Constitution to address the situation in the state, which no doubt requires extraordinary measures to restore good governance, peace, order, and security. In these circumstances, having soberly reflected on and evaluated the political situation in Rivers State, and the governor and deputy governor of Rivers State, having failed to make a request to me as president to issue this proclamation as required by Section 305, Paragraph 5 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, it has become inevitably compelling for me to invoke the provision of the Section 305 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, to declare a state of emergency in Rivers State with effect from today, 18th March, year 2025, and I so do. By this declaration, the governor of Rivers State, Mr. Siminalayi Fubara, his deputy, Mrs. Ngozi Odu, and all elected members of the House of Assembly state are hereby suspended for an initial period of 6 months. In the meantime, I hereby nominate Vice Admiral Eboket Ibas, retired, as administrator to take charge of the affairs of the state in the interest of the good people of Rivers State. For the avoidance of doubt, this declaration does not affect the judicial arm of Rivers State, which shall continue to function in accordance with their constitutional mandate. The administrator will not make any new laws. He will, however, be free to formulate regulations and may be found necessary to do his job, but such regulations will need to be considered and approved by the Federal Executive Council and promoted by the President for the state. This declaration has been published in the Federal Gazette a copy of which has been forwarded to the National Assembly in accordance with the Constitution. It is my fervent hope that this inevitable intervention will help to restore peace and order in Rivers State by awakening all the contenders to the constitutional imperatives, binding on all political players in the Rivers State in particular and Nigeria as a whole. Long live a united, peaceful, secured, and democratic Rivers State in particular, and the Federal Republic of Nigeria as a whole. God bless you all for listening. Thank you.
Okay, there we have it. So clearly, the government has interfered in the legislature, which goes against the laws written within the constitution, and as such, the federal government of led by the president Tinubu has had to intervene and suspend the activities of the governor and others related to the lawmakers in the state for 6 months, and he appointed caretaker admiral, I believe. I can't remember the exact name. Now, in of itself, that is what the president should do, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I want to reiterate that a lot of what the government is doing is very much written within the law. It is important that the people of the state begin to exercise their powers over their governance, because they are ultimately the sovereigns. Again, I always state this: Section 42A states sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. That means that the people must exercise the powers. They must be calling the all of the legislators. You have the right to call a town hall meeting where your local government chairman, state House of Assembly member, your House of Reps, your senators, and your governors for those states, they must be attending meetings all over River State right now, where the people will be questioning them about what is going on, and the people will be has the right to demand answers as to why things have got to this state. The people have been bypassed by the governor and the legislature, and the people of River State are the sovereigns that they have neglected. They have failed to serve the interests and the purposes of the people of River State. And there is some interaction, negative interaction between Nyesom Wike, the FCT administrator, if you like, and of course the governor Fubara in River State. And that is something that needs to be looked into, and that is actually causing enormous damage to the economy of Rivers. Yeah, it is good that the government has put a suspension, but the people, now we must implore you all to begin to know your right in your local language. Let me see if I have something to hand about that. I'm going to do that in Igbo. And let me just read to you 14.2a, by the way. 14.2a states, sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. Please, we need to memorize that. And secondly, 14.2c states, the participation by the people in the government shall be ensured in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. These are really important points that we need our people to know from the grassroots upwards. In every community, people must know those rights. To that end, let me show you something that I did earlier. Let's see if I can find it. This is in Igbo. I've told you this the key sections of Nigerian Constitution 14.2a, 14.2c. Now we're going to look at the Igbo translation. You can find it. Let me see. No, it's not showing me now. 1 second. Give me 1 sec. Let me try this one. Let me see if it works. It may do. If it does, then perfect. Then we've got the information that we need. Okay, so there we go. So this is the Igbo one. So this is the Igbo version that you're looking at on the screen. I'm just trying to make sure it doesn't. So you can see it on the screen right there. So those are the words there. I'm not very good at speaking Igbo language, so I'm not going to attempt it. But it's on the screen, as you can see. What we want you to do is to familiarize yourself with those and begin to hold your governors to account. This is what we are advocating for. Without the people taking control of that situation, things will just continue to get worse. And ultimately, the cost will be borne by the people, not those who are in government. Excuse me. So, anyway, what are your thoughts on what you just had? Excuse me. Thank you very much. 1 second. I'm just got a sneeze attack. So we are here to encourage you to begin to engage. Do not wait for the government. You need to start taking action on ground, calling town hall meetings, reminding them of the duties to you, the people. Excuse me, who are ultimately the sovereigns. I do apologize for the sneezing attack. Please don't forget to subscribe to Citizen AY. Subscribe to Citizen AY. Hit the notification button, give a thumbs up. Thank you very much. I will be back later on to dissect this properly later on. In the meantime, what are your thoughts on what just happened? Keep in mind, the people of Rivers State, you have the constitution, keywords. You have the power to participate in your governance using the powers in your local language. You can begin to call town hall meetings. We'll talk more about that in greater length, and we'll look into how the affairs of the River State got to this manner. You're listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Excuse me. I'll be back later on. Thank you and bye for now. I do apologize for the sneezing attack. Let's have your thoughts and comments. Thank you and bye for now.